Hey West Coasters, it's Lee here from West Coast Martial Arts, and well done, welcome to the Little Leopards program. So I'm super excited. So I just want to give you guys a little bit of history about the Little Leopards martial arts classes. So it all started so many years ago. I think it's about 18 years ago technically, maybe even a little bit longer, when my son was around about 5 years old. And at the time I was training, I suppose, semi-professionally as a martial arts coach, myself and my wife. And we really wanted our son, when he got to about 5 years old, to take part in the same journey that gave us so much joy and so much love for the martial arts. So we took Sam to our martial arts centre where we were training. And back then it was a very traditional martial arts school. It's actually called a Budokan, which is a warrior school, a warrior academy, very formal. And we introduced Sam to it there. But in those days, there wasn't really much in the way of children's programs. They kind of grouped everybody together. There was no understanding of stages of development at all. So if a child was 4 and a child was 11, they were taught the same way. They were expected to behave the same way. And when you think about it, you've got somebody that's 4 years old that's going into preschool. They haven't even got the same core development. So they're not physically able to sit still for a long period of time. But back then, in those sort of environments, if the kids were fidgeting, they'd be shouted at, but they didn't have the muscle tone. They weren't strong enough to be able to sit still. They weren't engaging the working state brain, so the kids weren't focused, and they were like kind of punished for this as well. And we decided that actually after a very, very quick time, it was completely the opposite experience we wanted for our son Sam. So we decided to set up our own martial arts school. Now, at that time, there weren't really the programs like we've developed today, the Little Leopards, but we were interested in different ideas, different ways of kind of coaching kids. One of the methodologies that we incorporated was Montessori. So it's kind of learn through touch and learn through play. So we had lots of equipment for the kids to train with. And we focused a little bit more. We started to focus more on skills back then. So skills are like what we teach in our class today. It's much more refined, but it was balance, focus, concentration, coordination, momentum, getting kids to move quickly, and control, being able to stop without falling over as well. So these are the kind of the key skills. And because we developed these skills, we found that actually the martial art techniques, the punching, the blocking, all that great stuff developed brilliantly because they had the strong foundations. And this was really the beginning of the Little Leopards program. And over time, we kind of refined and developed and tested and made it into the program it is today. Now, progress is super important to us. It's super important to us that the kids get rewarded for effort, even more so than the achievements. So you'll notice there's lots of positive feedback when we see kids doing great work in class, and we'll catch them. We always make sure we catch the kids doing things great. We try and catch them first time, and that builds the confidence, that builds the reward for effort. And this way kids aren't scared to fail. This is what makes us a little bit different. They're not so scared to fail as well. So our approach to kind of progress, most people are aware of black belts in martial arts. With the Little Leopards, it's a program that goes from white up to brown, but it's a stripe that we use on the belt to denote the program. So the Little Leopards, it's a white belt with a coloured stripe. When they get into the junior program, it's a solid belt. And when they get into the teen and adult program, we then evolve from a belt to a patch as well, just to distinguish the adults from the other programs in the club. Now, the Little Leopards, the belts go from red, yellow, orange, green, blue, purple, all the way up to brown. And it takes about 2 years to get all the grades that you need to complete the system, to fully graduate and move up into the junior program. Now, the way that it works is every 3 months, the students have an opportunity to do what we call a graduation. And what the graduation means is it's more of a formal test, and it's an opportunity for the kids to show us what they know and then to be presented with their belts. Now, we want the kids to pass. It doesn't mean that they turn up, they're given the belt, here you go, thank you for turning up, here's your belt. No, they need to know the material, they need to perform at the material, but it's designed for their stage of development. So how we do this, how we set the kids up to succeed, is every month we do what we call a tag test in class, which means we put on the board the material that the students need to know for that month, and at the end of the month we'll test them on that material in class. Now, if they're not quite ready on one, maybe two things, there's an opportunity to re-tag test to make sure that they go up to the next stage. But they get the tag test for month 1, they get the tag test for month 2, and once they've got their 2 months tag test, they're then invited for the graduation for month 3. And this rotates, this system. So once they've done the next graduation, it's tag test for month 1, tag test for month 2, then they're invited to graduate as well. And this way, we kind of make sure that there's no gaps, that the students are all ready to progress, but we keep the students progressing. This is the secret. We want the kids to be excited to test. We want the kids to be excited to learn, to build new knowledge, to get new skills, to just keep developing, to keep growing. And for us, when you look at our core values, you'll see we value long-term relationships. So there's something that you need and you need help from the club, let us know. We'll always make sure that we support you guys, because we want to have this relationship. We want you guys to be friends with us for the long term. Okay, so there you have it in a nutshell. That's the Little Leopards program. So I'll see you guys in class. Bye for now.